technology, yet they kind of put a lot of the rules, that kind of stymie them for performing that in some of the CAL FIRE wildland interfaces.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was a Apache pilot during Desert Storm, and he later in the reserves worked for them for a while, flying choppers.
Greetings, Mark.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
All right, good evening, everyone here. Might as well get started here. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Elmers session. Just about 10 people here. Very similar to our Wednesday night Learning Net. This is a great place to learn about ham radio, STEM topics in generally, and we have plenty of combined expertise and experience. This is not a net, though. You don't need to be a ham radio operator. We won't be taking any check-ins. Anyone's welcome to chime in. We have presence on groups.io/g/ham learning net. We like to post information on our past learning nets there. We also are unofficially on youtube.com under my personal channel for the moment. But if you search on YouTube for the club's call sign Whiskey Zero Tango X-Ray or my call sign K1DBC, you can find videos from our past learning nets, Elmer sessions, meetings. So if you miss something, join us there. My name is Daron, call sign K1DBC. Let's see here. What else? I'll try to bring up a bunch of things throughout the evening. This is a session for about 50 minutes or so. We have a meeting starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Practical foil metal antennas presented by John, W6NBC. So we'll need to end at a few minutes before then. That being said, though, I'll throw it out to the group here. We were just kind of chatting about some local events, things here recently. But does anybody have any comments, questions, anything you'd like to bring up for this evening's Elmer session? Go ahead. I didn't mention, but yeah, through the Google Meet, you're more than happy to jump in via the audio with your microphone or in the chat. You can put in a chat question there, text question there. If you see the 3 dots, depending on your platform, bottom right, you can click on settings and go through your audio and video settings there. Make sure you have the right microphone and speakers selected. Definitely try to mute when you are not speaking so we don't have any background audio. If you change the layout through my camera, or if you select Spotlight, essentially, you should be seeing whoever's talking. And while I'm talking, you should be able to see my face as well as some information that we're talking about. So, again, I can bring up, get the meeting started, or whatever. If anybody has any ham radio electronics projects they've been working on, or anything you had maybe during Halloween you'd like to share, let us know. Let's see here. Always up-to-date news over on arrl.org/news. One of the things here is the field day results. You can go and see them. They didn't spell our club out completely, but the Denver RC, Denver Radio Club, we had a total of 2,654 points, I believe is what that... aggregate scores and number of entries. 2,600 there. So pretty good turnout for our club there. I'm pretty sure that's ours. I did officially submit it, so I don't see anything else on here for Denver Radio Club. So yeah, more info on the arrl.org/news. Let's see, this was from... Where was this at? And I just keep missing it, maybe. Let's see. Contest.arl.org. You should be able to find it essentially. Maybe. Yeah, field day just on the left-hand side there. Contest.arl.org, and then you should see the results. How many clicks? And then one more click to 2021. And then a nice long PDF here. Article by Paul Baroque, November 1, Sierra Foxtrot Echo ARL Contest Program Manager. goes into the results and introduction to field day, and has some pretty good photos and pretty good stats here. So check that out. You're more than welcome to jump in at any given time. I'm just kind of filling in the air. If you have any comments, questions, projects you've been working on, any electronics, ham radio stuff, let us know. What else here? Recent QST magazine. Let's look at the... I don't like their online version, especially for this front page. If you put it to single page, it just brings up this like advertisement over it. So this is the real front page of the QST digital edition for December 2021. Centenary of the Transatlantic Tests, a celebration. QST reviews. Let's see, plenty of articles. They did speak about the field day. That's, I think I found that here. So yes, same article you can read on that contest.arl.org. Also available in the QST magazine. Let's see. Let's go a little bit off piste. Always great to browse reddit.com/r/amateur radio. If you're into any memes, there's always plenty of those, but always plenty of good information. People kind of hacking their electronics. Here we see a Kenwood TMD7TG with a meme on the screen. But there's apparently you can load up a bitmap for the power-up screen. So somebody figured out how to put on the NyanCat on here. What else here? Plenty of memes apparently recently. Looking at a Doventron MCP 1000C. What even is this? Let's see. That's an MPC 1000C. Again, don't hesitate to jump in at any given time. I can try to bring up things we've talked about in the recent LearningNet. In fact, I'll probably do that. Pretty old-looking device here. It's an RTTY unit. Okay. Wow. Interesting. You guys can hear me. I just want to make sure I'm not speaking into the darkness, right?
You're loud and clear, Doral.
No worries. Sounds good. Okay. All right. What else? Plenty of electronics projects going on. If you have any things soldering, or always interesting to dive in and build some things. Let's see. Let's go back to this past. I didn't archive it very well. I haven't been doing that recently. What did we talk about in the LearningNet last few weeks here? I think Fred always brings up some articles from the QST magazine. We were speaking about using filters for separating same band signals. Again, speaking about field day, operating multiple transceivers in similar or same bands in close proximity, and the usage of filtering. Another great publication by the ARL is the this was from the something contest journal. Let's see what this is called. National Contest Journal. We were looking at an article from Nelson Schollenberger, Kilo Alpha 2 Charlie, and he goes into speaking about one of the most difficult interference challenges for ARL field day operations is interference between CW and phone operations occurring on the same band, where stations may be separated by as little as 50 kilohertz. Antenna design and placement to minimize coupling, bandpass filters, and high-performance radios are key tools to minimize inter-radio interference. but interference for same band operations may still be a problem in some instances. This article discusses ultra-sharp low-loss filters, which addresses the problem of interference on the same band by using high Q resonators in a multi-stage notch filter configuration with pass band losses of typically 0.5 to 1 decibel and stop band suppression typically in the 20 to 40 decibel range, with a very sharp and narrow transition between the pass band and stop band. So I'm not going to even try to read the entire article here, but the November-December edition of the National Contest Journal, another ARL publication. If you have access, if you're an ARL member, you should have access to this online. So go check that article out. What else? What else were we looking at there? Again, don't hesitate to jump in at any given time. This is the Elmer session. It's for you. It's for everyone. If you have any questions, comments, any projects you're working on, electronics, ham radio, don't hesitate to jump in. We have another 50 minutes. It's only been 10 minutes. Oh, no. Okay. No, we're good. We have a meeting again, Practical Foil Metal Antennas, coming up, presented by John, W6MBC, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. On the meeting here, you can always chat, put in a question via the chat, or unmute your microphone and jump in on over the audio. I'm presenting a video of what we're speaking about here, so make sure that you have the spotlight option selected within the settings, within the change layout option. And you can see whenever somebody's speaking, you'll see their screen or their video. Let's see what else we were discussing there. On one of the Sunday night nets, just to kind of liven things up, I was looking at some older for me, but some of the, what is the name of that magazine? I'll have to find that here. Let's, give me a second. I just happened to, Nuts and Bolts. So, magazine of years before, not sure if they're still active. They may still be. I should probably look into that before I even say that, but just kind of browsing through some of the older electronics magazines. When I was growing up, I had Ramsey Electronics. I'll have to bring that one up because they were always a lot of fun. But some of these older electronics magazines and some of the kits and some of the things. This is from November or October of 2004. Looking magazine here, just really kind of cool. Just to kind of go back and look at some of the products for sale and some of the things available. Here's some project builds here. Let me blow this up here. So this is from December 2004. I should have been probably paying more attention, but very similar to how I'm still trying to bring people in now to electronics is, kits for Halloween, different animations and things like that. So here was a kit for $60 to blank a bunch of eyes, and let's see what this is. Even just a bunch of LEDs, probably just a bunch of I don't want to say passive electronics. No, they're using some sort of microcontroller there. It looks like some, I don't even know if that'd be an Atmega. I don't know. Maybe that's an Atmega. They've been around for a long time. Looking at some. I went too far there. There was some. I think there were some ham radio type kits there. Again, don't hesitate to jump in at any given time. Just found a random page here. Not sure if this still happens, but magazines of 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you'd find code written down in them that you would have to then rewrite into your own controllers, your own things like that, and your own computers to make a program. That's always kind of funny to see. I'll try to jump back to where I was here. Yeah, JCAR Electronics, some digital pulse adjuster, simple voltage switch kit. Yeah, pretty interesting things. It's always nice to just kind of go back and look at some of these older magazines. I mean, this is just 2004, so I'm sure I go back even further and whatnot. So again, I'll throw it out to the group. Any given time, don't hesitate to jump in. Just trying to fill the air here. If anybody has any comments, questions, let us know. What else are we looking at here? What else? Plenty of stuff over on YouTube. A lot of recent conferences that had videos released. Let's see, the GNU Radio conference has a bunch of the GRC Con 21 had a bunch of their videos released here. Let's see, topics ranging from new experimental setup collecting RF24 LoRa devices, interior target tracking using digital communication signals. GRC Con is really the kind of the epitome, really, of ooh, that's interesting. The culmination, I guess, of ham radio and really the hobbyist side as well as the professional side. Let me see if I can bring this up here. I mean, more info on them, gnuradio.org. They're kind of they are kind of the higher level introduction to software-defined radio. Excuse me. But they had a conference every year. Let's see if I can find... Probably just have it on one of these videos here. Nope. GNUradio.org for more info on them. It's an annual conference for GNU Radio Project and community. It's established itself as one of the premier industry events for software radio. Week-long conference that includes high-quality technical content and valuable networking opportunities. It's a venue that highlights design, implementation, and theory that has been practically applied in a useful way. Attendees come from a large variety of backgrounds, including industry, academia, government, and hobbyist. So there was a lot of really cool stuff here. See if it's any easier to see here. No, not really. Plenty of videos, though. A lot of heady talks, but really cool stuff. So GNU Radio over on YouTube. Check them out there. See if there's anything else here. Let's see what else. While I'm looking this up, don't hesitate to jump in at any given time. What else? I guess just at the last part of the Learning Net, we were talking about the James Webb Space Telescope, and it's launching December 18th. It is the plan to succeed the Hubble telescope as NASA's flagship astrophysics mission. It's scheduled to launch December 18th. Will provide improved infrared resolution and sensitivity over Hubble, and will enable a broad range of investigations across the fields of astronomy and cosmology, including observing some of the most distant events and objects in the universe, such as the formation of the first galaxies, and detailed atmospheric characterization of potentially habitable exoplanets. So we have a lot of things to look forward to in the next 10, 15, 20 years in the future, but here's one thing. Science kit that we as a nation are putting up there. So it'll be really, really cool to see the results of the fruits of their labor, really. So what else? This is the Elmer session. It's for everyone. If you are into ham radio, electronics, whatnot, this meeting is for you. So don't hesitate to jump in at any given time via the chat if you want, or via the audio. Pleased to have everyone here. This is a net to again just to help spread ham radio and all of the benefits of it. What else are we looking at here? Let's see if we can find something here, not too memey. It's pretty nice looking. He's working on a 2-meter quarter wave ground plane antenna here. Looks like some PVC piping, some copper wires. Pretty simple build plan, it looks like there. Let's see if they have any more information here. Yeah, not too much information. Looks pretty simple though. Just some copper tubing and some PVC tubing. So, yeah, don't ever hesitate to try to build an antenna. You know, it really isn't, especially for VHF, UHF. You know, especially when you're not having to tune. Really, it kind of makes it a lot easier. So, if you're ever in want of a need for a single band or dual band antenna or something, and it's VHF, UHF, you know, definitely don't hesitate to maybe look up some instructions. Another publication is by ARL is the On the Air magazine. I wish they would make available to really everybody. You do have to be a member though, but one article in a recent edition was exactly kind of similar to this. Excuse me. I think the July edition of the Over the Air magazine. Let me see if I can bring this up here. Again, if you're an ARL member, you can always you have access to the QST magazine, On the Air magazine, the National Contest Journal. What else? QX magazine. Plenty of stuff. Let's see. Yeah, July edition, July August. Building a 2-meter Yagi antenna. This is a little bit different build, but another simple build. You know, PVC tubing, copper wires, things you can get at your average hardware home store, things like that. Yeah, don't hesitate to try to build some things, build some antennas, because it's not, especially VHF, UHF, it's not too terrible, and you'd be kind of surprised. What else? Again, we do stream this on YouTube. If you have a smartphone, smart TV, if you ever want to watch this learning net or any of our past nets or whatever it may be, you can find us on there if you search for our club's call sign, Whiskey 0 Tango X-Ray, if this were to come up. I see some people on there now. Appreciate that. You can find plenty of info on there. Hopefully one day we'll be able to migrate it over to our official YouTube channel. What else here? Again, we have another 30 minutes. I'm more than happy to keep gabbering on here, but if anybody wants to chime in at any given point, any electronics projects, show and tell, anything you want to bring up for this evening's Elmer session, let us know. I closed. This is why I need to start writing things down more. What else did we discuss last learning net? What am I looking at here? Learning net. Always questions about general antennas, covenant controlled, ARL or HOAs. Let's see, what else did we discuss here? This is what I get for not writing down our things here. Want to load up? Maybe? No? Yes? Well, the name's Webb there again. Let's go take a look at great blogs to read, rtl-sdr.com. If you have any interest in software-defined radio, plenty of experience or plenty of information there. Pretty interesting piece of thing here of setting up a software-defined radio and receiving it within the Linux command line, essentially. So it's interesting to see that. I thought there was a better photo somewhere of it, but yeah, just the spectrum within command line. So for just an interesting, just a different view of it. Just a retro view, if you will. Maybe if software-defined radio were available in the like the green screen eras, the terminals, green terminals, things like that. So I don't know, it's kind of quirky there. What else? Interesting thing here. Sometimes you're browsing around if you do have a software-defined radio, or if you have a radio that can provide a waterfall spectrum, you do have access to see what that signal looks like over time, if you will. And that allows us to use resources and forums like for example, SIG ID Wiki, as in signal identification guide. This is one place you can reference if you don't know what type of signal you're looking at and would like to try to decode it. You can come to this website, sigidwiki.com, and amateur radio or a bunch of other categories there, but it has audio and visual examples of what those signals are. So FT8, for example, if you didn't know what it looked like, you could see it here. FSK or Hellscriber is another one example. So this other piece of software here, Cloud Markers, is a community-driven effort to another thing that you can do, and what you should do, is also just take the frequency. You can take the frequency and put it into Google. You can search the frequency and see where that's really used the most. That's another option as well. This Cloud Markers effort, really what it does is it's a plugin that combines all of those known, or a lot of the well-known frequencies. And so it just overlays the best well-known guessed modulation or type of scheme or whatever it may be on that frequency. So if you don't know what it is, you can use this to kind of maybe guess what type of signal that is. So Cloud Markers, a community plugin for the SDR Uno. So another interesting article there on rtl-sdr.com. What else? Don't hesitate to jump in at any given time. Again, you're more than happy to put a question into the comments to the chat of the Google Meet, or jump in over the audio. I'm more than happy to take anything here. Another great blog, hackaday.com, HACKADAY. They cover a range of articles on plenty of engineering disciplines: electrical engineering, computer science, RF engineering, mechanical engineering. A lot of overlaps between all those. Oftentimes some pretty good articles. Nixie Tube indicators tells you how many tasks you've got left to do. So always interesting to play around with Nixie Tubes. They're kind of a fun technology to use and use as a display. So this one is kind of just as a to-do tracker for somebody. So these Nixie tubes can be kind of expensive. That's why you don't see too many of them, or you see probably a lot of knockoff of them. Excuse me. What else here? Pretty interesting article you may have seen in the news. Russian anti-satellite weapon test draws widespread condemnation. I am an idiot. Morning of November 15th, a Russian missile destroyed a satellite in orbit above Earth. The successful test of the anti-satellite weapon has infuriated many in the space industry, put astronauts and cosmonauts alike at risk, and caught the attention of virtually every public and private space organization on the planet. It's yet another chapter in the controversial history of military anti-satellite operations, and one with important implications for future space missions. They go into examine it. Analysis from several sources indicates that an anti-satellite weapons system destroyed a Russian satellite designated Cosmos 1408. Satellite served in an electronic and signals intelligence role for the Soviet Union and was launched in 1982 with an expected mission life of 6 months. The 2,200-kilogram satellite had been defunct for decades and was sitting in low Earth orbit for an altitude of approximately 480 kilometers. U.S. Space Command has since released a statement indicating that Russia fired a direct ascent anti-satellite missile which struck Cosmos 1408. The findings were independently verified by a number of private sector organizations, including Leo Labs and Data. Exact details are hard to come by, but suspicions center around the use of the Russian PL-19 Noodle missile for the test. The PL-19 is a ground-launched missile which has been seen in testing as recently as a year, and has an anti-ballistic missile applications in addition to anti-satellite role. The two missions share similar requirements and the need for a missile with high delta V and high maneuverability in order to hit fast-moving targets at orbital altitudes. It's not Russia's only recent anti-satellite project either, with the country reportedly recently testing a satellite designed to kinetically attack other satellites in orbit. So, interesting world that we live in. A lot more detail here on this article. Again, titled Russian Anti-Satellite Weapon Test Draws Widespread Condemnation from November 17th by Lewin Day. Let's see. We were also plenty of stuff we were talking about. Don't ever hesitate to jump in at any given time. About anything electronics, ham radio, what have you. We were speaking about the space weather woman, Dr. Tamitha Skov. More information on her, spaceweatherwoman.com. Her Twitter also, Tamitha Skov. Plenty of information on space weather. Let's see if we can bring up some information here. So most recent tweet is see the last of the big flare players, region 2891. Fire off a goodbye kiss before rotating out of view. Learn how far Aurora dipped into mid-latitudes during the recent solar storm and see what else is in store. Looking at this photo, it's not your typical weather reports. 20% activity on November 11th. Let's see, today, this is a little bit out of date from today, but really, really cool information here. Plenty of information, spaceweatherwoman.com, so go check her out. We have about 25 minutes or so until the LearningNet or this Elmer session ends and the monthly meeting starts. Again, presentation is going to be practical foil metal antennas presented by John, W6NBC. He's going to go into usage of unique construction materials, tape width and thickness to handle power, skin effect issues, antenna efficiencies, an example of how to design various small size tape, HF, and VHF antennas. What else here? The RM Ham group has quite a lot of information that they put up. rmham.org, I think, is who it is. They have their RM Ham University. It's a hybrid in-person and remote. These are free to sign up for, and they eventually end up on their YouTube. Let me see if I can find that, because they had one recently released on introduction into microtik routers. So if you have any interest in getting into basics of internet and networking, and how to a lot of our repeaters have some internet based functionality, whether it be over the traditional internet, or as you're seeing on screen here, and has Mark N0XRX is some microwave based links. So a lot of the RM Ham repeaters are microwave link based, but they still use technology that you would use over the traditional internet. So this goes into how to use these microtik routers. These are kind of some cheaper solutions to some rather more commercial expensive solutions, but provide the options and the things that are needed for some of the applications that we have. So this took place November 13th. I believe it was streamed online, and it took place at Cherry Creek High School, at one of their buildings there. So Rocky Mountain Ham Radio over on YouTube. You can check them out. I don't have any this audio going though.
Not on your worksheet.
Oh, there it is.
Bridges. The second bridge that gets created is not hardware accelerated on the chip. So just be aware of that.
There's no switch chip in this router. This
Just
router,
hammer to it.
everything that would be in a bridge on this router.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was actually going. I didn't pay attention if that was going to the meat here. But yeah, it looks like a 2-hour talk here, pretty in depth. If you've been a part of the Arapahoe County Aries group, or the RM Ham, it looks like you'd probably recognize this this meeting room here. Let's see, Troy Lerner puts a comment here into the chat. Helium.com, crypto mining over radio. This kind of sounds a bit familiar. Let me bring this up here. Newest stuff here, either NFTs or blockchain or something like that. So yeah, I have to look into this. Let's see, how does even... Some of this stuff is just so... It'd be interesting. I don't know if you have any explanation on that, Troy. If you want to jump in, let us know. Let's see, Helium, crypto, and radio. Let's see what... wireless, okay. Helium is building a peer-to-peer network of wireless hotspots. As of April 2021, they had crossed 25,000 active hotspots. These are more or less $300 to $500 hobbyist radio. Let's see. I bet there's a lot of stuff to go in here. This stuff's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Looking at somebody with an antenna here. Wow. Yeah, I'll have to go in to see how that really fits in with blockchain and crypto mining and stuff like that. That's kind of interesting. So, yeah, I mean that stuff is everywhere. A lot of the Okay, yes. Troy was mentioning here in the chat. He's only a spot where you can listen. No problem. Yeah, if you like radios or antennas, it just might be an interesting project to check into. So yeah, helium.com for more information on that. Would be pretty interesting to see that. So very cool. What else? We have another 20 minutes or so. Please don't hesitate to chime in with any comments, questions. What else here that I had? Been a bit busy with work, so I haven't had really much time to look into some things here recently. So yeah, more info, rmham.org. Check their RMHAM University out. Again, RMHAM, Rocky Mountain Ham Radio, their YouTube. They're putting up all their university stuff on there. They recently had a talk about using the Chirp programming software, VHF, UHF, DXing, their field day, plenty of stuff on there. So really cool stuff. All right. Another fun site always to browse if you like window shopping for electronics, or not even just window shopping, but just a nice, reasonably priced things here. Tindie.com, TINDIE.com. Like a not Kickstarter, just another just people, individuals creating and selling kits, electronics like that. So always fun just to kind of go browse on there and see what's on there. Some more expensive stuff there, but what else? What else is on here? I mean, coming into the winter season, holiday season, you'll have another Christmas tree ornament and Hanukkah, things like that, LED. So great projects to get kids into for the holiday season. This one's a bit expensive. You can get them for much cheaper. But yeah, for about $5 you can get some of these little cheaper kits here. If we search for Christmas tree, for example, we should be able to see just a bunch of, well, you can't sort it by the cost. Plenty of options, $3, PCB, a bunch of LEDs, through hole. So if you want a good fun holiday project for the kids or whatnot, this will take, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, probably an hour, something like that. And just kind of teaching the basics of electronics and the LEDs and the different components they're putting on there. So a lot of different fun like that. So plenty of projects like that. What else is on there? A lot of fun stuff just to kind of look at and kind of look into and see what it is. And here's a display using a ton of LEDs. It looks like 64 by 32 matrix panel of LEDs to create kind of a wireless display. Pretty interesting. So pretty cool on that. What else? Don't hesitate to chime in. We have another 15 minutes or so. Let me check the chat here, see if there's anything else here. Nothing yet. What else? See if there's any ham fests coming up. Fortunately, we're not having ours. But arl.org/hamfests, I think. You can find a hamfest search tool. Let's see what we have. Pretty much the N0 ARA Swap Fest, the Aurora Repeater Association in 2022 at the Adams County Fairgrounds in February. It looks like is the what's coming up here. Look forward to that. What else? We're running out of things here. don't have much more else for this evening's Elmer's session. If anybody has anything, let me know. I'm going to try to bring some things up here. Anything else on the YouTube front? Scrolling off screen here, so I'm not just showing my craziness here. Adafruit Industries, another great. I just recently subscribed to them on YouTube. Should have done it a long time ago. They are very much like DigiKey or Spark Fun. Adafruit, run by Lemore Ada. She's a ham radio operator herself, or Lemore Freed, excuse me. Adafruit is an electronics distributor. Great YouTube channel. A lot of content, a lot of stuff. Let's see, NeoPixel and the
Hey, what's up, folks? In this project,
driving wireless LEDs and wireless LED projects. WS232. A lot of cool stuff out there, and these are kind of some kits that they sell and are just kind of showcasing. So definitely check out their YouTube channel, Adafruit. Let's see what else. Plenty of videos there. They have an Ask an Engineer. It looks like got going on right now. Live. Let's see. They've been live about. Yeah, so they have kind of Q&A about
560 in the chat said Pileap is
interesting
magic.
here. What else? Yeah, a lot of cool stuff over on the Adafruit YouTube. Again, Adafruit.com. They sell electronics kits. So, our Raspberry Pis, LEDs. Let's see. Let's shop products. Yeah, it's your kind of typical development board stuff, Arduino based, or Raspberry Pis, things like that. Let me see. Let's see the ESP32, very similar to the Arduino, but it has wireless built into it, much cheaper, or a much smaller footprint, cheaper. Plenty of cool stuff. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else that I had been working on here recently that I can bring up that's related. Again, we have another 10 minutes. This is, again, just a casual conversation about electronics, ham radio, s.t.e.m, s.t.e.m. Don't hesitate to chime in with any given questions, comments. If you're working on any projects, let us know. Again, about 10 minutes left. What else? Sure, there's plenty of stuff, and I'm just missing it. There's always stuff going on. A lot of stuff happening here recently. Just haven't really had the time to take note of what's out there. What else? Let's go back to Hackaday. They're always a good resource while I'm looking at this other thing here. Plenty of electronics projects out there, even though it's not radio related. A lot of cool stuff to kind of look at and see what other people are doing. It might give you some inspiration. Oh, here is that other analyzation of that here. It's kind of we talk about s.t.e.m and s.t.e.m the A being arts/creativity. Interesting thing that's been happening in the last few years is something called circuit sculptures. And so instead of embedding circuits into PCBs, it's essentially kind of like raw copper wire, essentially, built into a circuit sculpture and built into some art. So here we see a little dev board, looks like a capacitor and a couple of LEDs, and all the wiring to combine those all. So it's kind of interesting if you ever have some basic projects. It'd be interesting to kind of do some things here like that, because a lot of design and a lot of work goes into these, but it really comes out really incredible. Yeah, some pretty cool circuit design stuff, or circuit sculpture. I'm just looking at some really nice looking one here with I think this is a MP3 player or music player or something like that, but it's really interesting. So don't ever hesitate to think outside the box. You know, if you have a project that you're working on and you want it to have a visual impact as well, you know, you have the ability to do that. Five, 10 minutes or so left here. Let's see if about 20 people in the chat here. Appreciate that. Again, 5 minutes or so left here in the Elmer session. Just a general Q&A about ham radio, electronics, show and tell. I don't know if John W6NBC is in the chat, if he wants to try to make sure things work. I don't see if he's in here. Let me see. Don't see him in here just yet. See, again, this Elmer session was recorded. You can find it over on youtube.com if you search for Club's call sign, Whiskey Zero Tango X-Ray. If you missed the Elmer session, the Wednesday night or Sunday night nets, and or this upcoming meeting or any previous meetings, you can find archives of those. You can stream it onto your smartphone, smart TV, things like that. What else? Just a few more minutes here. Probably be a good time to take a restroom break if you want. But we'll be starting the meeting here in about 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. I'll bring up a few last things here, though. Another great YouTube channel, SparkFun. We speak about them a lot. Very similar to Adafruit and DigiKey. They are here based locally, up in Larkspur. I'd love to take like a group trip up there one time, or just outside of Boulder. Sorry. Electronics distributor. Another YouTube presence as well. Pretty cool things there. Projects that they're showing off, showcasing different things there. So again, if you want to get into some basic electronics projects or things like that, another great channel to check out here. Let's see. Yeah, so this evening we spoke about a few things here. Kind of talked about the field day results in the most recent QST article, but it's also available at contest.arl.org. You can go and find a good write-up on that, as well as our results, our points in there. Talked about some of the things we spoke about on our last learning net, or a couple learning nets from the National Contest Journal, using filters for separating same band signals for field day operations, for example. What else? GNU Radio, GRC Con videos that were released. If you have any interest in some pretty deep software-defined radio, a lot of cool videos recently released from their recent conference. Sunday Night Nets. We do stream again on YouTube, and kind of just to bring a little bit more to the YouTube video is I'll recently starting to kind of view some older electronics magazines. Was looking at a 2004 edition of the Nuts and Bolts Electronics magazine and some of the kits and stuff that was available. RockyMountainHamRadio.org, rmham.org. They have their RMHam University. Recently released a video on introduction into computer networking in regards to microtech routers and getting maybe getting repeaters online, things like that. And kind of just a few other things here and there. So just a few minutes left. If anybody has any last minute items for this Elmer session, let me know. All right, just a couple minutes left. Big good time to take a break if you needed. Meeting will start here in just a couple minutes. I don't see John on here just yet. What else? Yeah, again, very similar to this Elmer session. Wednesday Night Nets. The more information, W0TX.org. If you go over to our net list and scroll down to Wednesday nights, we have our digital or our Elmer's session, excuse me, our learning net. Excuse me. We have a groups.io presence. So you can go check that out as well. We post information on what we spoke about recently, and a YouTube presence as well. So you can check out the YouTube unofficially. If you do a search on YouTube for our club call sign, W0TX, you should be able to find that. So if you can't check in on the air, or if you're out of state, or if you're not licensed, you're more than welcome to check in or chat online. You're more than welcome to watch online either way. Very similar to this, just a general Q&A about ham radio electronics. So feel free to hang out with that. 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Let's see, with that, again, just a couple minutes here. Presentation coming up, Practical Foil Metal Antennas, presented by John Portune. Whiskey 6, November Bravo Charlie. Hams are used to building antennas out of copper tubing, aluminum tubing, and wiring. However, there are other very versatile materials available, which allow for the construction of some unique antennas. John, W6NBC, will discuss this subject with a presentation titled Practical Foil Metal Antennas. Presentation contains, among other things, a good technical presentation covering tape width and thickness to handle power, skin effect issues, antenna efficiency, and examples of how to design various small-size tape HF and VHF antennas. So check more information out on him, w6nbc.com. That'll be coming up here just a minute. So with that, I will wrap things up. Again, thanks everyone for being here on the Elmer session this evening. Glad to see everybody and hear everybody, and hopefully everyone's doing well. With that, my name is Drone, K1DBC. I will sign out. I appreciate everyone being here, and I'll go ahead and throw things over to the club president. Or whomever wants to pick it up.
He doesn't. You hear me?
How long did I have you guys muted?
Yeah, I just put
Jeez.
a link in the chat in case for some reason John doesn't show. We could always show the YouTube video of his presentation.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted on here. I'm sorry. I don't know how, or I did. I had this Google Meet muted, so I didn't. If people were talking, I wasn't hearing. I'm sorry.
Ron, this is Jeff. I dropped a link in the chat in case John, for some reason, can't be here. We could play that YouTube video of his presentation.
Oh, okay, perfect. Did he jump in there? I thought I saw his face in here. No, he's not in here yet. Okay.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, I had the Google Meet muted. If you were talking, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry about that. It may have been why nobody was speaking. Let's see. So yeah, we should be starting. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I sent a email to John about 5 minutes ago. I haven't heard back, but in the future, I will definitely get the speaker's phone number in case we have an issue like that. So,
All right, I'm going to drop the YouTube, and it'll start again with the meeting, and hopefully we will have a meeting this evening. But this just makes it easy to separate the Elmer session. So thanks again for everybody watching on here, but it'll start live